What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We're going to take a look at the futures markets this morning. So it's the 29th of June. We're going to take a look at the S&P, the NASDAQ will drop into the Russell, maybe the Dow futures contracts here. So we had a decent start to Friday, and we reversed quite hard. It was a thing of concern. Closed pretty weak, reversed. I believe some of the markets actually made new highs. The S&Ps got close. Pretty bearish day overall, in my opinion. I understand the NASDAQ being extended, but the S&P as well. Anyways, so we are currently long these contracts for a couple hundred points. We have stops pretty close to the current market price as of Friday, at least the lows of the day. So we'll see if we get stopped out on Sunday or how this plays out. But I definitely don't like the close of Friday's action for the S&Ps. We're long from down in this area. It's like the 53.50, 53.60. And like I said, we have stops pretty close to the lows of Friday. So we'll see where that ends up being. But a thing of concern here for at least for the S&P futures is this is not a very promising looking candle. It's quite bearish. We tried to break out higher, and man, we faded quick. I was actually surprised to see the markets be up very nice for the day and then close quite a bit lower. So all is well. If we get stopped out, hey, it's just one of many trades, and depending, unless we have a massive gap down on Sunday night, we should close with a very solid profit here for the S&P futures. Definitely a couple hundred points. Let's see here. So basically 140 or so, 145 roughly in the green here for the S&P. Let's take a look over to that's the S&P. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ futures. This takes us on probably the continuous contract, and that's fine. The same thing for the NASDAQ. Quite a bearish day. We didn't actually make a new daily low, but we also didn't close very strong. Reversed quite hard. We have this little rising channel here, call it what you will, which is a bearish pattern that I potentially it's already in play here as of Friday, play to the downside. We looks like we have a gap down here. Once again, we're long this. I think this is up quite a bit here. Let's see here. So our stops are roughly, probably about 700 points we'll make on this trade. Our stops are quite a bit. They're around this area here for the stops, like 19.7. I'm not sure the exact pricing, but it's in that area. So the NASDAQ does have a little bit of room before we would get stopped out of this trade. But again, not the greatest looking close here for Friday for the NASDAQ futures. By the way, we are long the micro futures, so not these full size contracts. Let's see, where's the Russell? The Russell here, the RTY, that'll work. So the Russell, on the other hand, we're actually looking to get long this. This looks like we might have seen our lows over in here, basically like the 21st, the 26th. Looks like we're getting ready to stair step to the upside. This, on the other hand, this looks more bullish to the upside. So we're looking to get long these. We're not quite in them yet. We will get in them, but we need to see some more strength continue to come into these markets. This is the Russell 2000 before we would get into these. So these haven't made their big run, unlike the NASDAQ, the S&P, which looks like they're ready to roll over, and maybe we start to see the small caps take off once those markets turn down, or at least pull back and go sideways. So let's take a look at the Dow. That was the Russell. I think it's definitely more of the bullish product here out of these that we're going to cover today. So this is the YM. This is the Dow. Again, the Dow, we would like to get into the Dow, but it's just it's all over the place. And again, this to me is not quite bullish. This I think is bearish. I'm not saying it's going to crash. I'm just saying there's likelihood of it going down looks higher than it does going up in price, going lower in price. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're not long this, but you can see it's all over the place. And just like we saw this leg up end up playing down, this one we're expecting to play down as well. So the only thing really that I think is a potential long here, and it's not quite yet. It could be in the next week or so. Is the small caps, the S&P and the Nasdaq, unless they turn around, and of course they can. The trend is obviously higher, but they don't look. They look tired. They need to pull back. They need to relax a bit, at least go sideways. And I think the likelihood of us getting stopped out of those trades is pretty high at this moment, at least as of Friday's close. The Dow will get long if it starts to show some more strength. The Russell will get long as well. Let's check out the TQQs. We are long these, the TQQs. Again, this is the NASDAQ. So pretty ugly reversal on Friday, as you could tell here. Nasty day. Was up nice, but then closed. Again, this rising channel here, I think, is going to break to the downside. We do have a gap down here. We are long these from roughly down in here, like the 66 level. So we'll see where we get stopped out. Our stops are not too much further below the market, so maybe this will be good for roughly, $5 to $7. We'll see what happens here with the TQQs. But again, it's the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ gets crushed on Monday or Sunday night, I should say. The TQQs will soon follow at the opening on Monday morning. So we'll see what happens here, guys. And I think here's an ETF, the Russell 2000 ETF. Again, out of all the products right now, I think what has the most potential here for upside is the small caps. I think they're going to break out, and that would be very nice to see.